Hello, welcome to Disc Golf Storytime number 4. I know, the beard's gone, and it revealed a whole bunch of ugly underneath. It shocked me too. But bear with me. You can turn your phone away as long as you listen to what I have to say. That would be okay too. Do you know any old salts? Any guys that you've been positively affected by in disc golf on the course or just in your life? I do, but we'll get back to that. Let's start about 7 or 8 years ago. We have a course close to our city in Delaware, Ohio, that is maybe one of the prettiest courses around. Unfortunately, I was never able to play well there. Just totally is, I don't know if anyone knows what that's like to have one course which you cannot score well on, you cannot play well, your friends are always destroying you. You see the scores in tournaments and you're like, how is it so easy for everybody else but not me? Well, that's the course for me. I mean, that course is evil. However, it's beautiful. It's on a lake. It's wooded. It's got a mix of everything. There's like, I think 27 holes now. I was playing with my friend in a doubles tournament there 7 or 8 years ago. And I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but throughout the round, and the format was combined score. Now he's about 60 or 70 ratings points better than me. So we're playing AM1, and that's a little above my ability. But however, he typically plays very well. So we're normally fine because when I have a partner, I can putt pretty decent, and we rely on him a lot. However, the round was combined score, and the pressure of that was a lot because you don't want to disappoint your partner, you want to contribute, you want to do well. And so every throw matters in combined score. You both play the hole, and if he got a 3 and you got a 4, you got a 7. You guys, a lot of you know that. So you both have to finish out every hole. This isn't like best shot. So a few holes in, it's going bad for me, and I lose the ability to play disc golf. I don't know. There is no more acute moment in my entire life that I can remember where I was like, I cannot do this. I felt everyone was staring at me. I felt the pressure of disappointing my buddy. I felt us slipping away and having no chance of winning any discs that day, and it was bad. And so we get to the final hole, and it on the course is like, I don't know if it was hole 20 at the time was what it was called. It's just a short straight shot. I early release the disc. It hits a building, small sort of outbuilding there, comes back in, try to get up and down. I still come up and hit a tree, and I am maybe 60 to 80 feet from the basket, wide open, straight. There's the basket. Here's me. A lot of people are considering running that for a 2. But me, at this point, shattered confidence, shattered ability to throw, just want to get out of there with dignity of some shred. I'm 100% sure from 60 to 80 feet away with a wide open shot that I cannot get to the basket. It was that bad. Most people would take their disc and throw it up there to get up and down. I knew I wouldn't be able to. So I try, and of course I grip the disc and do something weird and pull it directly right, hit a tree. Takes me 3 shots to get in the basket from that 60 feet away. It was one of the most embarrassing, horrific rounds of my life. Most people would quit the sport forever. It was that bad. But not me. I was so affected and so bothered, and there was a singles tournament coming up, and my plan was now I'm going to destroy this course. I'm going to train. It was, I don't know who all's watching this. If you are old enough to remember Rocky IV, where Rocky's best friend gets killed by a Russian fighter, and Rocky, for weeks trains in the Soviet Union, in Soviet Union era Russia, being followed around by the KGB in a mountain scene. This was like me. I'm in the Russian barn lifting huge bags of rocks and climbing, running up snowbanks, and totally going to hit this course and play well in this singles tournament. I was so committed, and I'm an optimistic person. I'm the type of guy that can shoot badly and then have real hopes and dreams for the next time. So here we go. I make it to the tee off of the next tournament, and what's funny is on my card, 3 other players, 2 younger guys that I don't know, and a guy named Rocky. No kidding. Rocky was this type of guy. I've lost track of him. Haven't seen him or spoken to him for years. Was the type of guy that you saw on the course at any tournament or on the course, and he never, ever, ever talked about himself. You had to dig information out of him about what was going on because he was only interested in you. He was very warm, very accepting, very much just made you feel good to be around him, and was one of those guys that really had some good perspective on life. And, it was just awesome that he was going to be there. I mean, this poor guy had, I don't know if it was arthritis. He had at least 1 major knee brace on all the time, and it might have been 2. I can't quite remember. He could not run up and throw anymore. He had to stand on the end of the tee pad, and I think he threw almost entirely overhand tomahawks, thumbers. I remember him putting normal, but he resigned himself to be. He had to limp around the course, and by the end of the round, he was usually pretty bad shape from it. But he was always out there with his attitude to serve others and to be there relationally for you, and he was. And so this is who I have on my card. So I'm like, this is going to be great. I'm going to rip this course apart. No, it's not how it happened. I remember not playing well. Things were going badly. You know how it happens. A 5 here, a double there, a triple, a roll away. Things just start to spiral. And when you're an extrovert like me and totally affected, my mental game now is gone. We start on hole 13 or 14, whatever it is, but by hole 1, 5 or 6 holes into the tournament, it's already over for me. It's that bad. This course is my anathema. I hope I used that term correctly. I just can't perform there. And all this training, all this work, all this hopes that I would do better was vanished. And I'm standing on hole 1, which is a beautiful hole, and I'm like, let's just do this. Let's get this hard birdie here. It's a straight shot toward the lake. And I throw this shot, and I grip it, over-rotate, whatever you want to call it, and I pull my shot straight right into the woods. It takes me 2 shots to get up towards the basket. And now I have a putt for bogey, which I miss. So I drop in for a double. And a culmination of the hate and the rage and the disappointment. Well, let's just call it what it is. Absolute bone-wrenching disappointment. that I put all that effort in, that I came with all these hopes that I was going to do better. And I have two putters that I have. The putters that I use are from 2008. They were only made then. It was a special run. At the time, I felt like I had the last two in the world. Might have. I grabbed one of them, the one I put in the basket. I turned towards the lake. I do the most perfect X step you could dream of, and I launched this putter like no driver I've ever thrown, as far out into the middle of the lake as I could. And that was a disc golf version of a primal scream, that I just throw this disc out there as far as I can, gone forever. Really kind of priceless disc. I had to get rid of it. I had to be washed away of that. And so as we're walking away to the next hole, the young guys are, and the one guy says out loud, "Now we're supposed to give you a stroke for that. We're supposed to stroke you and maybe a penalty." And my attitude was, whatever. Like, it matters. And I remember Rocky saying, "Hey, nobody's going to be stroking anybody today." And that was the end of it. Now, what's interesting is, I know the rules. I know it's not cool to do that. I know you're supposed to get stroked. But he also had some perspective. I'm not in the running for anything. I'm not knocking anyone out of cash position. I probably was going to be last anyway. But he had this way, and the way he did it did two things. One, I just felt respected. I felt like he was basically saying, let this man suffer. He's suffered enough. Give him the ability and the freedom within reason to get it out. And let's also have some perspective here. This isn't the back nine at the USDGC lead card. There was just these two things, this respect and this perspective, that were just affected me so much. Well, what's interesting is the next tournament I played at that course, I won my division, AM2. And pretty smoothly. I felt fine. And I had gone on since then to beat my friends who were 50, 60, 70 rating points higher than me. Beat them relatively, here and there, which I had never done before. It's wiped away. The curse is wiped away. And, there was just something about realizing, there was a self-focus and a thing, me trying to get ready for that tournament, the Rocky IV comparison, all about I'm going to do this, I'm going to handle this. And I felt like what Rocky taught me there was, let's have a little perspective. It's okay to just go ahead and lighten up. Anyway, that's the two Rockies. Do you know anybody like this in your community, on your course? If you don't, maybe it could be you, or maybe it is you.